So, with most new cars these days, the factory exhaust system always leaves a little something to be desired. And today, we're going to go ahead and change that. This is Rusty here at FCP Euro, and today we're going to be going over the installation of the 034 Motorsport Resonator Delete Kit on our Audi B9 S5. In front of me, we have the Resonator Delete Kit from 034 Motorsport, which includes the two pipes that you'll be replacing the resonators with, along with two additional clamps that you'll need after you make two simple cuts. These pipes are made out of stainless steel. They do have a titanium look coating on them. This kit is designed to give you that full exhaust note for half the price. So with that being said, let's get into some of the tools you'll need to tackle this job. Not going to need too many tools here, just a few small things. I do suggest a metric tape measure. You will have to make a 45mm measurement to place your cut on the existing resonator. That being said, you'll also need a marker or some sort to make a mark. A 13mm accompanied by a ratchet, whether it's a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch or a 3/8, just a 13mm for all four of the clamps. And then last but not least, the Gear Wrench 2031DD exhaust cutter. This is a chain cutter that you'll use to make a perfect round incision on the exhaust pipe, making sure that you're not using a Sawzall, damaging any of the underbody panels. That being said, let's go ahead and start replacing these pipes. Once you have your vehicle up in the air, whether it is in the driveway on jack stands or in the two-post lift like we have here, first thing you want to do is make some measurements. We're going to be going off the rear of this exhaust hanger bracket here, and we're going to be going about 45mm towards the back of the car. Once you've made decent marks for your chain cutter, just go ahead and drape the chain cutter over the exhaust. So now that you've got the cutter on, give it a good squeeze, making sure you're fairly straight on. Make any last minute adjustments if needed, and then begin to rotate your chain. This will make a perfectly good cut around the whole pipe, and as you begin to get further into the pipe, you can adjust the chain. All right, so it's almost cut all the way through. Let's go ahead and remove our rear clamp, and we'll remove this resonator. We're going to need a 13mm and a ratchet to go ahead and start to remove the exhaust clamp from the pipe that you just cut, leaving the other side attached. This will make sure that the exhaust is still in the exact point, so you don't have any exhaust tip adjustments, and you don't need to support the exhaust with anything because it is still attached here at the rear resonator. And I would like to note that if your clamps are fairly rusty and you live in the Northeast like we do, it would be a good idea to buy a second pair of them, or at least before you purchase this kit, go ahead and do a visual inspection and see if yours are going to be a pain to remove. Ours are in fairly good shape. Just go ahead, loosen the clamp just enough and slide it back to the rear portion of the exhaust. Go ahead, and our cut didn't go all the way through, but it was almost there. As you can see, it made a fairly straight, pretty even cut. If yours wasn't as smoothly cut as this, you could certainly use some sandpaper or a file to deburr this. Ours came out really well, so we're going to go ahead and grab the other pipe and start reinstalling the resonator delete. Before you go ahead and install the pipe, once you've removed the old one, go ahead and grab your clamp and slide it onto the existing down pipe. You do want the nuts facing down so that you have access to them. Just kind of slip that over the pipe. You don't have to tighten it up or anything. Go ahead and fit up the new resonator delete, sliding it into the front, and then lining it up in the back here. Checking the clearance of your pipes. And then we did leave the old clamp on the rear section, which makes it a lot easier, in theory, to slide it over the new pipe. You may have to loosen this up just a hair. So there will be a witness mark from the old exhaust clamp. You're not going to have one from the new one, but you do want to make sure that it doesn't clamp the weld here. You want to make sure that your pipes are free from the heat shields above, and just kind of clock them so that the 034 Motorsport is facing down on the driver's side one. That one will actually be pointed up on the other one, but this will give you a good idea. You do want these pipes in the rear to be straight, and then it does kind of drop down going up to the front pipe. So we're just going to snug this up real quick along with this one and move on to the other side. And you'll notice I just kind of lightly tightened up the rear one so I can make sure that we still have clearance. As you begin to tighten up the clamps, the exhaust may get into a different spot, so you do want to make sure you're maintaining clearance as you're tightening those up. And before we give it the final tighten, just make sure everything is in good standing, nothing's too close. You can make final adjustments right before you tighten it up. And you just want to make sure that these clamps are sandwiched down. You may have to go back and tighten them up if you hear a little bit of leaking after the repair, but once those are nice and secured, you can go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. So I've already made a small mark here. Go on the outside of that line there. So just like the other side, we're going to go ahead and remove the exhaust clamp on the back after we've made our cut. While we still have the other side attached, remember, don't do both at the same time, do one at a time. And once you get it loose enough, just slide it back. Tools out of your hand, holding the resonator so it doesn't fall and hit you in the face. And then you may have to give it a little twist. Break that last little burr. All right, so there we have it. Making sure to install the clamp first with the nuts facing down towards the floor. Making sure that the clamp is not over the weld, and 034 is going to be facing up on the passenger side. So once you've got the clamps fitted and the pipe clearance, making sure that you're not touching any of the floor panels or any of the heat shielding, do the same thing we did on the other side, tightening it up minimally and adjusting as we go. So we're just going to lightly tighten up those clamps with the 13. All right, and again, before you finish up, make sure everything's nice and tight, nothing's rubbing, no heat shields are moved. If you can look above it, make sure you got good clearance, and let's see how it sounds. So, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and hit that like button down below. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them in the comments section as well. And as always, we will have more videos on this vehicle as well as many more. So please feel free to subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll catch you on the next one.